Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Nicolas. I'm an email marketer for fashion brands. If it's your first time tuning in for channel, welcome and thanks for watching. If it's not your first time, thanks a lot for staying in, checking other videos, and I hope it will be as useful as another video that you might have seen. So on this video, what we're going to talk about is how can a brand sell out a 1,000 euro jacket in 4 minutes. Learnings from Aimé Leon Dore. So basically, that's a series I'm going to do for many brands. What I want to do is talk about all the top brands that I think are very good to follow in the fashion industry and kind of learn from them. Something that we can learn from for any brand to apply, eventually yours as well. And so that's a new series that I want to push out, probably do 2 videos a month about it. And hopefully that's something that you find useful, like as well in terms of format, and that we can keep following publishing. So yeah, this video is how to sell a 1,000 euro jacket in 4 minutes, learnings from Aimé Leon Dore. Quick disclaimer before we start. You might say, well, that's impossible. That's a bit of a clickbait title. Well, let me tell you something. That's not a clickbait at all. And why isn't that a clickbait? Well, look at that. So that's an email I received by Aimé Leon Dore last Friday, September 1st at 5 p.m. Spanish time. And so it was like announcing their fall winter 2023. And that's 5 p.m. 04, so exactly 4 minutes afterwards. And that jacket was already sold. And that jacket was priced at 1,250 euros, dollars, I think it was. So approximately 1,100 euros. So it was sold out actually in 4 minutes. And so what we're going to check in this video really is understanding what is Aimé Leon Dore, how do they plan their launch of the drops, and what can you apply as learnings for your own fashion brands. So before we start, give a like and subscribe to the video and to the channel. I'm trying to educate and teach as much as I know about fashion brands, e-commerce, Shopify, performance marketing, email marketing. So if you do have a fashion brand, a fashion e-commerce, or any other e-commerce, I hope my videos are useful for you. And hopefully you can subscribe and give a like so you can support the channel, keep me going, and for me to keep sharing with all of you guys. So how does Aimé Leon Dore sell out a 1,000 euro jacket in 4 minutes? Quick hint, it's not an overnight success. It won't be happening to you in 1 week, in 1 month, even in 1 year, I don't think. It takes time, but we're going to go through it. So Aimé Leon Dore was created in 2014. It's from Queens, New York. Was created by Teddy Santis, who is the actual creative director of the Made in USA range of New Balance. They've had a big history with New Balance in terms of collaboration, but it's a very well-known fashion brands within the premium, I would say, segment for street fashion. Very recognizable, very respected brand, very followed brand as well. I think they have more than 1 million followers on Instagram for sure. And a lot of people talk about it. And they have very unique, factors in, very unique identity, very unique things they do to stand out. So what makes it special? What makes Aimé Leon Dore special and worth, following? Well, they have a very recognizable visual entity. And in fact, this visual entity has been copied by many, many, many brands. in Europe, in the States, a lot of brands have kind of copied their visual codes and visual framework. As you see, that it's very great photos, but it's very like the same kind of photos every now and then. Every time they announce a drop and they present the collection, it's kind of the same photos. Usually, it's like one main model, sit down or stand up, and that's it. Very cool setup, very cool colors, very cool imagery, and very quality images that makes the brand stand out and really like give this quality and premium feel to it, which I really like. And if you follow a lot of different brands, you will notice that a lot of brands actually get inspired by this style and apply it to their own brands. They have limited weekly drop. That's something that is very difficult to do in fashion because you have different delays and productions and things like that, but they have very limited weekly drop. They usually send it every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, so at 5 p.m. UK, 6 p.m. Spain, Paris, Berlin, whatever. And every time it's only one newsletter, one very simple newsletter, which is the logo, the date, one single sentence of what's coming out, one link, and one photo. That is the layout of the newsletter. Very simple, maybe too simple, maybe for a brand of that standard, but it assumes that a lot of people have actually seen the content on social media, on blogs, etc. So they don't really need to push towards too much of the content on newsletter. They just need like one very simple message. So as you see, the dates are September 1st, August 25th, August 17th, August 11th, July 31st. So it's almost every week, one newsletter every week. They do key collaborations as well with different brands that really associate with the same positioning. And that's something that we're going to talk about later on. But it's very key when you collaborate to another brand to have the same positioning, same audience. So when you do, collaborate with a jewelry brand or a home design brand or, I don't know, an artist, something like that both audiences are very similar, because if you collaborate with an audience that might not have the same acquisition power than yours, then people won't be buying it. So they collaborated with Woolrich, with Porsche, with Drake, with Clarks, New Balance, Timberland. All these brands have the same positioning as Aimé Leon Dore. And that is something that you need to keep in mind when you do collaborations. And I see a bunch of different collaborations with different brands, and I say there is a big misconception between audiences. You can't have a brand that is targeting teenagers and collaborate with a brand that is targeting adults with a very, I would say, premium purchasing power. So you need to keep that in mind. Both brands of collaborations need to target the same audience. And lastly, they have a very big organic growth. So they don't do any paid media. I don't think they've done, at least for the last 3 years. I don't think they ever did. They don't do Facebook ads. They don't do Instagram ads. They don't do YouTube ads. It's very organic. They appear in a bunch of blogs, bunch of social media platforms, social media profiles. They are very followed, very respected. Every time they release an article, a product, it's getting shared a lot on different blogs, different articles. And that is something that as a brand you need to aim for. And I know it's very difficult to grow organically. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of contacts. But at the end of the day, it's much more profitable. And you might grow slower, but if you don't have the pressure of growing quickly and getting sales quickly, it is the way to go, because you don't have any pressure. You can do the things you want to do. You can go at your own rhythm, and it's much more healthier. And in terms of margin, you will be much more profitable in the mid and long term. So how to launch a drop? And that is the list of ingredients that Aimé Leon Dore is doing, and that you should do as well when you're launching a new collection, like for winter, or a special capsule, or a special drop. So first of all, you want to tease your products. You want to give some kind of idea to the people that what you're launching is actually interesting. You can't just say, well, September 15th, I'm going to drop this, and don't show anything. You need to drive interest. And basically the objective is for people to save the date. Like, I like this jacket, they've been teasing the jacket, I want to buy it. Second is you need to make some noise around it. You need to contact PR, blog, influencers, social media things, and you need to promote it with other platforms and not only yours. You need to spread the audience, as many people as possible being able to see your products. You need to keep people engaged as well. You just can't tease your collection and then just forget about it until launch date. You really need to give them what you're going to launch, what product will be available, what they will be able to acquire and to buy once the launch is done. And on launch date, you need to unleash everything, all social media, blog, newsletters, videos, content, everything, and don't be late. If you say you're going to launch Friday at 5 p.m., you need to be sharp on Friday at 5 p.m. because people will be waiting for it. They'll be like on their mobile phone, like 5 p.m. I want to be there. I want to be the first one to buy it, especially if it's a limited collaboration or limited collection. So you need to be very, very, very disciplined in your drop timings, drop dates, drop hours, and don't miss it, because then people will just think you're just like joking and not really serious and just forget about it. So how does Aimé Leon Dore sell out so fast? How can they be able to sell out a 1,000 euro jacket in 4 minutes? Here are some 7 key learnings to apply for your own brand. First of all is you need to nail the fundamentals. And when I talk about fundamentals, is good product, strong brand identity, and understand who you are. Who can you associate with? What is your core value? What don't you want to be, which is very important as well. If you are a brand that want to rely on high discounts for Black Friday, then it's okay. But you can't really be in conflict with yourselves. First of all, you need to have like great products, great design, high quality products, so that people will buy your products and receive it and see it's high quality and repeat it. You can't just sell like a 1,000 euro jacket and for jacket to be bad quality. You know what I mean? So you need to nail the fundamentals. Secondly, you need to envision what you want to be. That's very important. When you build a brand, sometimes it's very difficult to kind of imagine what brands you want to be 5 years in the future. But at the end of the day, if 5 years in the future you want to be a specific kind of brand, then everything you do in terms of communication, product launches, collaboration, discounts, actions need to lead to that 5 years plan. You can't just do like 70% discount and then say, oh, in 5 years, I want to be a high fashion brand. That's not possible. You know what I mean? Because people who buy you now won't be buying you in 5 years, because what you are now is very different than what you want to be in 5 years. So you need to be very consistent with the message, the communication, the values, and everything. Then you need to stay as organic as possible. Again, that's very difficult if you raise money and you have very high pressure for investors, stuff like that. I understand it's not easy, But when I say stay as organic as possible, is also rely on organic sources. Be very strong in social media, in TikTok, in YouTube. Create good content. Make them desirable for people. Make it desirable for fashion blogs, for influencers to rely it, to get it, get them interested in it, and don't just rely on paid media, because paid media, maybe in 5 years Facebook ads won't exist. Who knows? So organic is one thing you should consider as well. 4, become a fashion content house. The best fashion brands I know are all super strong in content, whether it's video, images, photo shoots, collaborations, articles. They are very strong in content. They have a very strong idea of what I want to look like. They have a very strong idea of what they represent. So you should really focus on that and really invest a lot in content. Don't just do like videos in the street. Invest in content. 5, be consistent and always deliver. Again, talking about the weekly newsletters from Aimé Leon Dore, you need to be consistent. Get people used to your communication. Get people used to your content. Maybe do a calendar of Thursday will be these kind of newsletters. On Sunday, it will be these kind of newsletters. On Tuesday, it will be these kind of newsletters. Be very consistent. Think of your brand as a media brand rather than really like a product brand, because media will drive the sales. Product alone will never sell, you know what I mean? So especially in fashion, where emotion and identity is very strong. So be consistent and always deliver. 6, you need to know who to collaborate with. You need to understand, as we talked about at the beginning, that if you collaborate with a brand, you need to make sure that it touches the same audience. When I say audience, not like same people, but really like that the people that this brand is going to reach have the same characteristic as your own audience. Because as I mentioned previously, it's like if you collaborate with a brand that is like a cheaper brand, people who don't really care about quality, but more focused on pricing points, and you are a premium brand, it won't work, because there will be a clash of values, a clash of what matters really. And if you're trying to sell a 150 euro t-shirt or 1,000 euro jacket and collaborating with brands that don't place quality and premium as their core value, it won't be working. So you really need to understand who to associate yourself with for collaborations. And 7th point, but very important, you need to be ready to lose now in order to win later. It's very important. A lot of brands are really focused on 6-month, 12-month revenue. They want to grow quickly, but by growing quickly, they kind of kill their margin. They kind of kill their identity. They do a lot of discount because they misestimated their stock and their sales. So you need to be ready to lose now some sales, grow slower, understand who to target, keep these core values, and then build on this. Build on a loyal audience, build on the same people, stick to your identity, don't change, and then you're going to win later. As we said, Aimé Leon Dore is 9 years old. They took time, like 6 years ago, it wasn't really known. It was very niche, and now they are everywhere. So you need to be patient. And the last learning, Aimé Leon Dore yearly revenue is estimated to be below $10 million. Apparently, that's what I found in some sources. Some say more, some say less. Let's say 10 million. So you don't need to be enormous in terms of revenue to be successful. And that's one of the key aspects in fashion right nowadays, where you look at, I want to have like a 200 million exit round, I want to be bought by another group, and blah 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 blah. You don't need to be enormous to be successful. You just need like to have the core people in your team, develop slowly, be consistent, keep the same values, keep the same identity, and then later on you can be successful. But it will take more time, but on the longer term, it will be more profitable for you guys. So you need to be patient, you need to enjoy the process, and eventually, with all that taken into consideration, all that consistency, all that identity that you've worked on in the past years, you will be able to sell a 1,000 euro jacket in 4 minutes, no doubt. Just need to be consistent, just need to keep that loyal audience, give them what they want, keep your identity very strict and very straight, same values, don't change, have a strong visual aspect and identity, be appealing, create quality products, and you'll do it. So as I said, I hope that this video was interesting for you guys. I hope that you learned from Aimé Leon Dore, which is one of my favorite brands to follow because I really like what they do visually and the collaboration they do with. If you like the video, give it a like, please, on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and for more tips on e-commerce and email marketing for your fashion brands. If you have any questions, reach out by email, by LinkedIn, on my website, or in the comments. And I will see you soon on a new video of my channel. Thank you very much.